What'd you get?
Cracking open a cold one. Just a seltzer.
Ooh. Is it like just regular seltzer or is there flavor in it?
Mandarin orange.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds refreshing.
It's very refreshing.
So I started the last one by saying like hello everybody. What's a different way to like do like an intro, like a greeting?
Hello and welcome back to yet another podcast episode.
Oh, there you go.
The Silver Gunner podcast.
I like that.
My name is New Guy, and
oh, you're just gonna do it? Yeah,
No,
do it.
no.
Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another podcast episode of the High Quality Podcast. This is your host, PinkieOats, and today I will be interviewing New Guy, who's part of the Silver Gunner team for quite many years, almost since the beginning. That's not true at all. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well.
Oh wait, I'm not recording.
Oh well.
There we go.
Splendid.
You could have used that.
I could have used it. I think I could try to finesse it out of the backup. But anyway, an actual welcome to the second episode of the High Quality Podcast. Today's episode is with my good buddy. You may know him as Bob Dylan, but I know him as PinkieOats. PinkieOats, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, New Guy. It's great to be here.
So before I start grilling you, I want to quickly just say a very quick thanks to everybody who like gave so much positive reception to the first episode. I definitely was not expecting that kind of response, but everyone was just so positive about it, and it got me like even more excited about doing this show. So excited to be back here doing this again, and with yet another of my good friends. So Poats, let's have a chat, buddy. Let's talk about you. What is your favorite video game?
Oh, that's a great question. But I would like to start off by saying your first epised has been really awesome.
Oh, don't flatter me on the show. Oh my god, I'm blushing, man.
Getting to know Toon Link was really cool.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially for the viewer or fan or anybody, even though I wouldn't consider them a close friend, but they're definitely a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, props. It's great to be here. What is my favorite video game? I think that's pretty obvious. It is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. The story, the art style, the characters, the writing, the music. Oh my god, the music.
Mm-hmm.
The areas. I mean, it's one of the first games I ever beat. So
like all the way through?
All the way through.
Yeah. I actually I totally like blocked this out of my memory until just this moment. I bought The Thousand-Year Door the same day I also bought Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island on GameCube.
Oh god. I wonder which one you played more.
I don't know why, but like I played Paper Mario for maybe 30 minutes and then didn't touch it for like 10 years.
Right.
Because Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island is a special video game. But
it's special. I've honestly never played it, but yeah.
You really don't need to. But I went back, I think it was the summer after I graduated from high school. I played Thousand-Year Door all the way through. And that game, it really is like, it's something very special for sure.
Yeah, it's very unique.
It really is.
In the battling, in the how the world, universe, the laws work. What I like about it compared to like the newer games is like it doesn't acknowledge that it's in a paper world. Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, paper cut, oh, scissors are cutting me in half. Oh
yeah, that's a good point.
I'm all like. It kind of tries to emulate the style of paper to and not even just Paper Mario, just the aesthetic of like paper and crafts, and it just wants to set you in this world where it's like, I mean, yeah, like Mario's made out of paper in those games, but like, what makes those games special is not that he's made out of paper,
right.
It's like everything else.
Right. Yeah, honestly, I never really thought of that before, because they like, especially in the past too, like the sticker star and the color splash, like they were just like, oh, okay, he's made of paper, so we got to do like all the paper gimmicks and stuff. But Paper Mario, like, Thousand-Year Door is just a regular ass RPG with a cool art style.
Yeah, a
Huh.
very unique RPG.
Yeah. Well,
Like
yeah, right. Yeah.
with the timed battle presses, and it's funny. Like I love that about RPGs or that specific kind of RPG, like
Uh-huh.
Paper Mario and the original Paper Mario on the 64. But I haven't played like a lot of Mario and Luigi games, or I haven't even
Really
played through the entirety of Super Mario RPG.
interesting. Yeah.
Even though those games kind of they're all in the same vein,
Right.
and RPG was the original. Like the only Paper Mario, or sorry, the only Mario and Luigi game I have beaten is Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah. Which is a
Uh,
good game for sure.
it's a really good game. I feel like the other ones just didn't really grasp me as much,
Uh-huh.
and you know carry it to the finish. Like there were certainly low points.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not much of an RPG player.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
So it has to be something really unique.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door specifically, is a really good sort of like middle ground between like a hardcore RPG and like like a dumbed down one. Like I think there's like on one end of the spectrum you got like Pokemon, and then on the other end of the spectrum you got like um I don't know what like
Final Fantasy.
yeah, like or like Bravely
Xenoblade,
Default or
got,
something like that. Yeah. But then right
yeah.
in the middle is like the Thousand Year Door, where it's like it's got all those RPG elements, but it's still very accessible, and like it can keep you gripped and held until the end.
Yeah, totally.
Though I do think you should try, if you haven't already tried it, you should try it again. Partners in Time. That was like the one I grew up playing a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people say that's like one of the weakest ones.
Really?
Yes. That's just that's my understanding of the general consensus.
I mean, I haven't touched the game in like 8 years, so it could be total nostalgia gaggles.
Sure.
Gaggles?
Gaggles of gooses.
But that game is I think it's really good. Maybe I should replay it and then I'll let you know if it's actually any good. But
yeah, good. We'll touch base.
Yeah.
I should play the Superstar. I should play RPG. I also want to play Super Paper Mario because I never gave that a chance.
It's
when I had it.
It's very good in its own right. It's just like
Yeah.
obviously the like heat about it is that it's not like Thousand Year Door, which
No,
but
that's fine because it still retains that story, that charm, that character.
yeah, and it still very much has the thing of like it's a Paper Mario game with a Paper Mario like aesthetic, but it doesn't like it doesn't acknowledge the fact that it's paper. It's still got its like its own
Right.
story. It's doing its own thing. It just happens to
Right.
be the Paper Mario.
That's what I hate about the new ones.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure they're fine, but like it's not Thousand Year Door. It's not. It doesn't. I mean, all the freaking characters are just toads. Like, come on,
It's
man. Look at all the...
actually so fucking lame to see
Yeah.
all those because like you look back at the old Nintendo games and they got like all these cool designed characters and original things, and then you look at Paper Mario Sticker Star and it's just like all toads, and it's like why?
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
There are some characters that are just completely unique to Paper Mario.
Yeah, that's
which
like
is
the
awesome,
coolest
like
part.
The bulbs and the funny mouse guys and the
Mhm.
little like rock hawk, like
Yeah,
you don't see
yeah.
characters like that, but it works within that universe because the artist who designed like all those who like basically designed Mario into who he was today. That like classic kind of retro like illustration
Mm-hmm.
that you see on like the box arts and stuff or
Yeah.
instruction manuals.
Yeah.
He he was like the lead designer in Paper Mario, and that's how he got that whole aesthetic.
Oh, for real?
I saw this. Yeah, I saw this great video. I think by Thomas Game Docs, and I totally forget his name now, but yeah.
Wow.
My bad. Yeah.
Well, I certainly was not expecting to talk about Paper Mario for 6 minutes, but
I mean, you get me in a room, you start talking about Paper Mario, we go on for hours, man.
I didn't realize how much, like appreciation I have for like those older Mario RPGs though. Cuz like honestly, I have not been gripped by like a Nintendo RPG like that since. I mean, they just haven't made any that are kind of like those old ones since.
No.
Like even
no.
the Mario and Luigi games on 3DS, like I think it was Dream Team and then there was one other. Oh, it's Paper Jam, right? Yeah.
Yeah, That's
like they don't feel the same to me.
Which I was super hyped about, by the way. But
yeah.
then I found out, like, oh.
It's actually just like a Mario Luigi game with a third person, and it's Paper Mario.
And it's not even like the Paper Mario that we like. It's only Paper Mario.
Right.
There's like Paper Peach and Paper Bowser and some Paper Toads, I think, and Paper Goomba enemies. But it's only like, and when I say paper, I mean like the art style.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's pretty much the only difference between like the Mario and Luigi sprites and the paper characters.
Yeah.
But it still retains that, like, oh, we're made out of paper, so we get crumpled up and fold up and like. Sorry, I'm gonna stop talking about it. It's like too much. We should really talk about.
We should do the actual.
Let's talk about me.
Podcast.
Let's talk about me.
No. Yeah. No. Let's do talk about you. So that's your favorite game. But what kind of games are you playing these days?
I mean, number one on the top of my list has been Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Yeah, it's the same with like almost everybody in existence. But
yeah,
the game is good, so it makes sense.
I mean, waking up on that grind for like 2 hours straight, watering flowers and talking to my villagers and getting all the fossils. Like that's pretty much been my routine. Eventually, I just unlocked the the landscaping and the path creating.
Oh,
so I'm gonna
man.
map out my whole town.
Yeah,
whole
bunch of stuff just opened up, so you can like really go creative on it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that in New Leaf. I actually like got my 3DS hacked. And I went into the map editor and I made everything perfectly the way I wanted it. If a villager left, I just go into the map editor and put the But eventually I just got like really tired of nothing was advancing because I kind of like had unlocked everything that I wanted at that point, so it kind of ruined it for me.
Right.
But that's what's still great about this, and we're all playing.
Right, exactly. It's a very communal thing right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, in the Silver Gunner back room, we're checking each other's turnip prices.
Yeah.
To sell, or oh, I got this character visiting me today, so they got this select items. You should come over and see what you want from them. Like you could go to the clothes shop, or if Kix, for example, today he was visiting Marlinstown and I wanted to see what he had, so. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that's it's a good game, and it's a fun time to like, because when New Leaf came out, like I was not a part of like sort of any community, right? I just talked to like my 2 IRL friends who had it, but now it's like, my God, there's like 100 people who are playing this game, and there's just like, it's really cool. But yeah. So and Animal Crossing seems to be, I mean. It seems to be like a franchise that has some importance to you, right? Because yeah,
for sure. It was the one game that my mom liked us playing because it was non-violent,
right?
And it kind of helped. And she thought it because of all the text and stuff. It helped like with communication, or what was the word that she used? Like just retention, I guess. Reading a lot.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's like not wrong though. Like there is a lot of text.
I'm sure you could learn a language through Animal Crossing some way.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Music. You like music?
I do.
How did that happen?
Well, I have ears, so. I got rhythm, I got funk, I got,
Those are the essentials, rhythm and funk, it's all you need.
Yeah, seriously. Are you asking what my interests in music are, or how I got started in music production, quote unquote?
I mean, I don't see why not both. Right, I figure one's got to lead to the other, and I figured...
Sure.
Yeah.
My favorite artist is Daft Punk.
Really? I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Daft Punk is sick. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, sorry. What's your favorite Daft Punk song?
That's like such a hard question. There's so many good ones.
Is it The Sound of the Summer?
I guess that's not a Daft Punk song.
What?
the sound of the summer. Get lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were referring to it that way. I guess Digital Love. That song fucking slaps.
Digital Love?
Yeah, from Discovery.
I don't think I know this.
Why don't you play the game?
Digital Love.
You know, last night I had a dream about you. In this dream.
Oh, I do know this song.
Ah!
Okay, yeah. Dude, this fucking music video is really cool.
Oh, dude. Interstellar 555, the entire album of Discovery is animated, and it has like a whole story.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I kind of want to check that out.
It's really... You gotta check that out.
I will. I'm gonna write...
It's like 90s aesthetic anime.
Yeah, it's like it's giving me some like some Sailor Moon-ish vibes. I've never even seen Sailor Moon, but
it's actually it's a fun story. But the main drive there is the music.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, well I'll check that out. So anyway, so you love Daft Punk?
Yeah, I love Knife Party. I love Nell Word. I love Justice so much. I love lots of video game music.
Yeah. Do you have
YTPMVs.
Do you have a favorite video game soundtrack?
I mean, other than the obvious.
Right, other than Thousand Year Door.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Super Smash Bros.
Is that a cop-out answer to you? Because that's what I say, and
that's
people,
why I said it.
Right? Yeah, like, but it's so true. Like, Smash soundtracks are actually just the greatest video game soundtracks. I think there's no,
and not just because they basically collect a bunch of existing music, but they also remix the music in so many new ways.
Oh my god, yeah! Like the Gangplank Gallon remix in Ultimate is like maybe my favorite piece of VGM ever made. It's so good.
Yeah. I feel that.
Oh, but so
and the original music is great.
Of course,
there's so many good aspects.
Yeah,
but I actually have a couple as albums on vinyl. Excuse me. A couple. Night in the Woods. Sorry, I have a couple of
video game soundtracks.
Of video game music. Yeah.
Oh, dude, what do you have?
Night in the Woods.
Okay.
Love that game.
Yeah.
Love that game. Celeste.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I think that's like the only two.
Mm-hmm.
But they mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
So
video game soundtracks on vinyl are like super cool.
Yeah.
I bought at MagFest. I like wanted to buy just like something as like a little souvenir, and I ended up picking up the Deltarune soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I didn't know it had.
Yeah, vinyl. Yeah. So just owning that like feels really cool. So honestly, like I'm like low key interested in like starting to collect video game soundtracks on vinyl, even though I don't have a turntable.
I don't either. But I do have a couple of albums on vinyl that I specifically like went out of my way to buy.
Oh yeah.
Dirty Computer from Janelle Monáe. Woman Worldwide from Justice.
Mm-hmm.
And like 4 Daft Punk albums. Discovery, Homework, Ram, which was the first vinyl I ever bought, was Ram.
Ram?
Random Access Memories. Sorry. I just say Ram. Daft Punk's, that's what the album Get Lucky's from.
Okay.
And I actually found a EP release for Around the World.
Really?
In a vinyl store, yeah. Just like out of nowhere.
That's really cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. It was only like $7 or something. I was like, That's great.
Yeah. So that's sort of like what how you vibe with the tunes. What about you actually making the tunes? Because you make the tunes.
Yeah, I mean, I have a very long history with, I guess, mashups is my specialty. But I actually got my start.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. If you can even call it a specialty, but I mean,
making mashups is a talent, and I'm not gonna let anybody tell me otherwise anymore. People sleep on mashups, man, but they're good.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's, where I was so inspired when I really started making them in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
By, Triple Q, and Botanic Sage, of course.
Of course.
I was listening. I wasn't even aware of their names when I started listening to like mashups and stuff. But just kind of like the whole community, like it just seemed like, you know, back then anybody could just, and it was just anybody could just upload a mashup.
Yeah.
And there were so many trends.
Yeah.
Like Tachyon.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh my god, everywhere. But I actually have a history like 8 years before, no, more like 6 years before that even. In 2011.
Okay.
Doing a mashup of a YTPMV of Mortal Kombat called Mortal Bonk. And it's the TF2 Scouts.
That's where I thought it was going, yeah.
Like pitch shifted to, yeah.
You did pitch shifting in 2011?
No. So
it was okay.
But this specifically was Kung Fu Kombonk. Or no, sorry. That's the track name. It's a mashup between Kung Fu Cutman, you know, that like kind of original remix using Kung Fu Cutman, Kung Fu Cutman.
Oh, okay,
and,
yeah,
and,
I think I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and layering that over Mortal Kombat because they sound pretty similar. But I'll share you. You know, I'll try to send it to you right now.
Yeah, so I'll put it.
Want to listen to it.
First of all,
this
I'll
is
listen
my
to
first
it.
mashup.
Okay.
This is also, here is the album art.
Ladies and gentlemen, PinkieOats' first. Holy shit!
This was made in Paint.
Oh
like,
my
real
god!
Made in Paint. I don't even think I was playing TF2 at the time. I was just watching all the crappy, crazy videos.
Yeah, dude, this is the start of like your graphic design ability here. All right, Kung Fu Kombonk. Yeah. Here it is. This is in 2011.
So fucking loud. Yeah, but I didn't do this pitch shifting part. I took two existing songs and just tried to sync them up. You'll see.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Okay, so it starts out okay, but then like. It's just so out of sync.
Oh my god.
It's an absolute.
But the best part is that like everybody's got something like that, you know? Like everybody has their like first mashup that when they make it the first time they're like, this is sick, and then they look back on it like 5 years later and they're like, man, what was I even thinking?
Yeah, this is still up on my SoundCloud, and like you can see in the comments from like when it was first uploaded to like a year later, I was already like replying to people saying how bad this was. Like, yeah, I know, this was like so long ago, I'm so sorry. So even back then I knew.
Yeah.
Like it was bad.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I actually have another
a double feature.
A double feature. I could pull up the album art really easily, but this is
Bonk
kind of
Man
an original
3
start into YTPMVs.
Do you make YTPMVs?
So I do more now.
Okay.
More than I did,
right.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll listen to this and then.
Okay.
And then...
All right. Sounds good. All right. So this was you. You did this.
Yes. Except the backing track is an Old Spice of this song, like an Old Spice YTPMV.
Oh, so you YTPMV'd on top of a YTPMV?
Because like, let's see where I just gave up here. Like, I can't do that. And then I'm using like the Spy. I was definitely inspired by a lot of the YTPMVs at the time, especially of TF2.
Yeah. Because, I mean, those were everywhere, especially, like, back in that day, for sure.
Yeah. So...
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. So So
Really incredible.
that was your start, and then some years went by, and you found yourself in SiIva Gunner, which honestly,
Well, a lot
I
of years went by between 2011 and 2016.
right.
And 2016, I was still kind of just doing like whatever was trendy. Like Splatoon had just come out, and
Oh yeah,
MTH was doing Splatoon Core or Splatoons, or
I think Splatoons is the name of the like actual official.
that's the actual
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Now I have to find Squid Core.
I've never even
Yeah.
I've never heard of Squid Core. Squid Core.
Well, there were a lot of like core albums or projects that were part of SoundCloud.
Oh yeah,
that
look at
kinda
this.
Everybody was just launching.
MTH, July
Um,
27th, 2015. Squid Core.
Yeah. Yep.
So this like predates SiIva by like a year.
Yes.
Wow.
If this was part of SiIva, it would be its own album. Yes.
Wow. So were you a part of this?
I contributed at like 4 different tracks.
Wow.
One of my first big successes was a Splatoon mashup. With Ice Cream Paint Job and some Splatoon song. And one of my first actual like successes was a mashup between a piano cover of Blumenkranz from Kill la Kill
Okay.
and the Professor Layton theme.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So wait,
And
so this where was
this? It
this?
blew up because on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And it blew up because of Triple Q.
Oh
liked
really?
it. And I was like, that was like the best feeling ever.
Oh yeah.
And they were working on Cut, Paste, and Kill at the time, which I really wanted to contribute to in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I convinced him to add Professor Blooming, or maybe I didn't. I don't think it's actually on the album. As like a bonus, even.
Oh yeah.
But it was definitely a big, like, wake up moment for me. Like, oh man, I gotta keep doing these.
Yeah.
Holy crap, Triple Q like that.
Yeah. So you contributed to that kind of stuff back before SiIva. So is that how you like got to know those people a little bit?
Yeah. Especially just general collaborations. Like Cryptrick was doing a lot of like.
Love that guy.
I know, a lot of cool stuff. This one song, Sakura. It was sort of like, if you can, it was sort of like a fusion collab before fusion collabs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one bass song that kind of just loops itself.
Okay.
And everybody put their own like mix on it, or twist, or mashup on it. And it was just a continuous stream of all these. And there were a couple of tracks like that Cryptrick, or projects that Cryptrick hosted.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a bit bigger than us, I guess.
Wow, that's weird to think.
Yeah.
Someone bigger than SiIva Gunner. So.
Oh no, I mean.
just
SoundCloud.
then. Okay, gotcha.
And by us, I mean like the general, your average
sound clowner.
Sound clowner.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, in 2016, the only DAW that I had was GarageBand.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were making mashups in GarageBand?
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
Did you know that that's how Wace was made?
Wace?
I made Wace in GarageBand.
What is Wace?
What? Poach, what are you talking about?
Maybe I've heard it, but like, refresh my memory.
Dude, you are
so sorry.
You are crazy. You have here. Click this.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wace. I know. I recognize the name, but I just totally forget like what the kid. Okay. Yes.
This was this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was making mashups in GarageBand, and Dio was like, "Don't make mashups in GarageBand." So I made this to kind of like a middle finger to him, and then
that turned out well.
And then I put it on PicoSong, and the auto-generated PicoSong link was picosong.com/Wace, and it lives on forever.
Wace.
Thanks to Hinchy.
Yes,
for building
I do remember
Wace
this.
page. I'm glad.
That's a great backstory.
But
I
needless
didn't
to
know it was
say,
made in GarageBand.
GarageBand is not the best for making mashups. I don't think.
No, but no, it's really not. And there was definitely like no quality control. Like I would just download the songs off of like YouTube with a YouTube to MP3
Yep.
website or whatever.
Yep.
So I wasn't trying to get like the highest quality stuff, but nobody was.
Right. Exactly. Right. I mean,
and it doesn't really matter because that stuff gets compressed anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
so
yeah, from just making stuff in GarageBand before discovering Vegas, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And using my, I was self-taught in graphic design and Photoshop at the time.
Mm-hmm. Wait,
so
you're self-taught and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, totally.
Wow, you are very talented then. Like that is.
I mean, that's what I love about the internet and crowdfunding and crowdsourcing and is all that information is online for free.
Yeah.
And if I had a question, I just Googled it. And there's tons of communities of so many people who do this, as like a profession. And they're willing to offer this information for free.
Yeah.
Like that's what I don't like about programs like Skillshare.
Skillshare.
You know what Skillshare is, right?
I do not.
Do you watch YouTube?
I have been known to do
I
that.
mean,
Skillshare.
they're just a website that kind of curates lessons.
Oh, yes. Okay, I am familiar with this.
Yeah. So like people upload their courses and it's all organized, but it's also like you have to pay for it is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you can get all this information online for free.
Yeah.
And that's great that like you have a concise, and it's great for some people if you have a concise linear learning experience like in school traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you're only learning as much as what that person can offer, and you can't ask a question. I mean, I guess you can, but like you won't get as quick of a response as just like posting something on Reddit like, hey, how do I do this, or
right.
why is Photoshop doing this,
right?
And so I feel like instead of just narrowing yourself to one lesson or one person, you should be casting a wide net and picking and choosing useful bits of information from YouTubers and online communities and friends who also do it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about Skillshare. Anyway, end rant.
Yeah, no, good rant.
I just really oppose Skillshare. I tried it and like, maybe for some people it's good, but like not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. So SiIva Gunner, right? Because
I know, we're getting there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So making all these connections on SoundCloud, and just being part of the community. I don't remember who exactly invited me to the first server, Gundam Goons.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like there, like almost from the get-go. I remember, like, how on Discord there's like the sidebar of all the people.
Yeah.
That like wasn't even filled up to the bottom yet.
Yeah.
Like there was still a gap from the bottom of the screen to where it meets the bottom of the list of people.
Uh-huh.
So like very, very early on, as far as I remember.
That's super cool that you like.
And
yeah,
there were like friends in there, so it was easy for me to adjust. But there were also like big names like Triple Q in there, I believe. Maybe not that early on, but like still, just being around all these talented people who are clearly, in my opinion, better than me in general. I mean, I was using freaking GarageBand.
Right. Yeah.
And what was great about SiIva Gunner is being able to repurpose my stuff as, bait, essentially. Because, that's how we started out.
Right.
And we still do that. But nobody, like, looks at our channel and is like, wait, is this Gilva Center? Right. They see that it's SiIva Gunner.
Right. The bait and switch part of the channel, I think, has long since died. I think it's sort of...
Yeah.
It's got it... But
because everybody knows now.
Right, everybody knows. But it lives on. It's still got it's got like a new sort of reputation.
Yeah,
I think it's
kind of funny now. Our viewers have this expectation, but then we still manage to psych him out. I don't know. It's evolved.
It definitely. I think one of the things that like really like resonates with me a lot is how I think a lot about how, you know, back when the channel was supposed to end in September 2016, right? Like the reason for that was that, you know, people thought that the joke was going to get old, which I think was a valid point, right? In that, you know, the joke got old, but by continuing to live on, it sort of evolved into this new thing where it's not really all about the bait and switch joke anymore. It's just about like the individual rips and also just making good sounding stuff now. Like SiIva Gunner pumps out rips that sound really, really good. Which is cool. It's just sort of like instead of like the funny meme channel that it was in 2016, which definitely had a lot of its own charm. Now it's like, you know,
it's its own. I mean, that was like, it served its own purpose.
Yeah.
But now we want to like actually be creative with our talents, because there's so many. I don't even like saying talents. They're skilled.
Yeah.
Learned, you know, educated people who want to just express their interests, and it's all for free, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, that's what I love about it too. So let's talk about you. You know, in the world of SiIva Gunner. Obvious, you know, cop out first question is what's your favorite thing that you've worked on?
Some of my favorite things that I've worked on. I was able to explore my video editing side more with SiIva Gunner.
Yeah.
Especially with the album trailers.
Yeah.
Which were really fun.
I saw that when I was looking through your playlist. I saw you worked on a couple of those.
Sorry, what?
When I was looking through you sent me your playlist of rips, and I was looking through, and I saw that. I didn't realize that you were behind a lot of the album announcement trailers.
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, it was kind of just like, hey, we need an album trailer, and I would be like, I'll do it, and then I did it. And I had my own vision, and I saw it through, and it was usually things that I was like passionate about.
Yeah.
Namely, the Grando Nomori Animal Crossing album. And it's really a toss-up between this and Tactical Espionage Announcement.
Yep. That's what I figured.
They're just so well made. But technically, I think the Metal Gear Solid one is more intricate and advanced, especially with the scene for the iDroid.
The scene?
The iDroid is a kit or a kind of specific kind of like UI that would come up between your missions. It was a very specific screen in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay. And
it had this very specific like animation and aesthetic, and it was just very visually like it's saturated with so many moving parts.
Yeah.
And I wanted to like recreate that, and it was intense. Like with my limited program, I was very limited with Sony Vegas and Photoshop. Like maybe somebody would be able to make it like no big deal in Premiere or
like After
anything
Effects
else.
or something like that. Yeah.
After Effects, yeah. But for me, it was like picking different pieces together and kind of molding it all together, like Frankensteining it together, I should say. And that's what I like about. I mean, I'm comfortable with Sony Vegas. I want to learn more.
Yeah.
But I'm also comfortable with Sony Vegas. So, but I'm still very limited.
Right.
And that's why I want to move on. But when I'm limited, I find these solutions that are unique to the situation. Like, when people are faced with a challenge, they find a way to overcome it.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that's what I was able to do with the Metal Gear Solid trailer. I was really into Metal Gear. I just started like playing them all. I actually started with Metal Gear Solid 5, so
Really?
yeah, which is kind of backwards.
Yeah,
And then I did the first one, and then 2, and then 3, and then I got like 2 chapters into the fourth game.
Uh-huh.
So I really need to play through that. But
Gotcha. I wanted to pick up Metal Gear Solid 5, but then people were like, "No, you got to play 1 through 4 first," and then I didn't do that. But
I mean, I think 5 is a great starting point because
Really?
the controls are. I mean, it's a very standalone game
mm-hmm.
in this series. As far as I can recall, it kind of takes place before everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a great grasp on the whole story.
Yeah.
But it's.
Well, I don't think most people do, right? Isn't that kind of like the whole point? Is that it doesn't make a lot of sense?
Yes, but like, it's definitely its own self-contained story because 1 through 4 was supposed to be the last game,
mm-hmm.
and 5 was sort of made as an addition because Konami kind of pressured Kojima to do that. They wanted another game out of him in the Metal Gear series, even though Kojima was like, "No, I want 4 to be the last game."
Yeah.
So it's sort of its own standalone story. It's sort of like, I wouldn't call it a spin-off because it's still important to the story.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like the black sheep of the family, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to use that like.
I'm
phrase.
not gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to say black sheep.
I think it's like
black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I was right. Anyway, another really awesome part of that album trailer is that we got the actual voice actress Donna Burke, who voices the iDroid. Like,
oh, what, really?
Yeah, there's like the iDroid voice that's sort of like Siri or whatever.
Yeah.
The virtual assistant, and we got the actual voice actress, not just like for free. I'm pretty sure we had to pay her, but I wasn't behind that. I'm pretty sure like the direction of that trailer was like, okay, here is the voice clip that we paid Donna Burke to use, that we got. And we want you to use it and, like, adapt it to a trailer. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do this whole thing. I'm going to recreate the iDroid whole, like, visual aesthetic. And it was a huge, huge hurdle.
Yeah.
But I got through it, and the product is amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, MTH really helped with what's the word? She edited the voice clips to say bean instead of meme in that one part. You'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll put up a visual.
Yeah, yeah.
Props to her for that.
Yeah. So, Grando no more.
Yes. So Animal Crossing is a very near and dear franchise to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was tasked, well, before that, I contributed a number of songs to the actual album itself, led by Toon Link, which he's such an amazing producer, mashup mixer, DJ, like,
yeah, he is the bomb for sure.
For sure. So I was really happy that this project was happening. I love the Animal Crossing soundtrack as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made a couple bangers. Yeah. And then we needed a trailer. And so I had this whole vision. And it was just like I was also tasked to create the album art. So
you made
great.
That album art?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. Most of it was just like traced of the original album art. But it has its own twist, like Brewster is in
the Granddad colors.
Granddad colors,
yeah.
And he's holding a phone instead of like a mug, playing Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that cute little KK slider, small KK slider.
Yeah.
But the real challenge was the logo. So I was able to incorporate the logo resources that I had produced for the album cover into the album trailer. and sort of animated my own like unique title sequence that was sort of inspired by many of the title sequences in Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Because it's such an iconic part of the series. I feel like, you know, you see that title screen every day, every time you boot up the game. And I wanted to recreate the title sequence that you'd normally see in the original game.
Yeah.
And I got my friend Leo, who's helped me in numerous video projects, getting the raw footage of a video game, like in the Animal Crossing, and in Metal Gear Solid, and in a couple other projects I can't recall. But my friend Leo Luster has really helped me out a lot with those. He was able to, I was able to like direct him to just walk around from screen to screen and make sure the UI doesn't pop up just like it does in the original game.
Right.
Like the original title sequence, you just see like your character
just like walking around.
Yeah. And then it transitions to KK Slider in that iconic like sort of pitch black room, wood flooring, and the light coming down on him.
Yeah.
And then I was working on the text he was saying, and Toon Link, God bless him, he like recreated Animalise for each of the lines of text.
Oh, seriously?
With the like wise guy, the official voice of Gilvesner.
Right.
You know, stuff like that. That really pulled it all together. All the music backing it. It's just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like my specialty is recreating scenes or emulating scenes. That's what I love doing that. Whether it comes to like just digital art in general or video editing. I've done a lot of that for the channel, just emulating existing styles. And you can see that a lot in a lot of the Etika rips that I did.
Yeah, so let's talk about those. So
yeah.
So you, I mean, I assume it all started just because you were a fan of Etika.
Not really. Like,
okay,
not a fan of him.
Okay.
When I started out. But I loved his reactions.
Sure.
I think everybody did.
I was gonna say, who didn't? Yeah.
He's balls to the walls crazy. But I wasn't like actively following his content.
Okay.
So I can't say I was a fan of his work at the time. I loved that video of him reacting to Mewtwo.
Yeah.
And so that was the first video that I edited. And I just looked at it and I was like, okay, what if I just inserted a rip instead? Like, or it's just like the original game audio.
Right.
What if he's just reacting to the audio?
Right.
And so to prefix that, or to preface that, to give context for where he's reacting to Mewtwo, I put in that amazing Xenoblade Chronicles X rip, where they parody the main theme, and someone's really poorly singing. I don't know who it is, but it's like, let's find the memes we've lost.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, oh, and to give context to that, he's like, he says something about like Xenoblade, yeah.
Oh, I
so,
know what you're
he's
talking.
like listening to a Xenoblade rip, but he's actually watching something else.
Right.
And then he reacts to Mewtwo.
Right.
But like even the audio isn't edited. It's just like him reacting to the Mewtwo battle theme, screaming Mewtwo.
Yeah.
like as if we had just uploaded a rip about the Mewtwo battle theme, and he's just like, yeah, it's simple, but it worked.
Yeah.
And so we titled that as Mewtwo Battle Theme from Pokemon X and Y. And then moving on from that, I was like, okay, how can I take this further? And so, let's look at let me look at like what the next, video that he freaked out to. and it was the Cloud, when Cloud was revealed.
Oh, dude, is
That
that the
was
one where he
super
like
hype.
ripped up the box that was on the floor?
Yes,
Yeah.
something like there's a bunch of paper on the floor.
Yeah, and he just like throws all over the place.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I don't want to do like the exact same thing that I did last time.
Right.
So what I did was I essentially just swapped out Final Fantasy with just like a totally generic Nintendo game, which was Super Mario Brothers 2. But it was like, because you know that whole sequence is like Super Smash Brothers
Yeah.
crosses over with
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. But I just swapped it out for Super Mario Brothers 2. And so he's just like, "What? You are kidding me?" Oh. And I also inserted a bunch of audio from Donkey, because of course Super Mario Brothers 2 Game of the Year, baby.
Oh, you know what? Now that you're saying this, I'm remembering this rip. Yeah.
Yeah. And another detail that I added was the chat was replaced with like a bunch of backroom members getting together during a live stream and typing in like, "Oh my god, Super Mario Brothers 2." So we like it swapped out what would normally be there, like, "Oh my god, Cloud," from the original
Right.
stream chat that was in the video, inserted into the video, but we put in Super Mario Brothers 2. You know, everybody freaking out.
Right.
So you can see like MF Piccolo and Cryptrick and Nate Mango and Chase and MTH and everybody typing in, reacting to Super Mario Bros. 2 instead of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was like the first two videos that got big. And I wasn't sure if he had actually like seen them,
Yeah.
but just by chance, I was at SmashCon 2016,
Okay.
and he happened to be there. This was the first time I met Etika in person, and I was with my friends. I was very much into professional Smash Brothers playing and spectating. Not that I was a pro, but you know, I tried to play on that level. And so, yeah, it was I think it's Chantilly, Vermont. Anyway, that's irrelevant to the topic. Sorry. Fact is, I was there and he was there, and you know, we first walk into the convention and he's kind of like there at the entrance because I assume everybody just swarmed him.
Yeah.
And he's got this big crowd of people around, and I was like, oh my god, I've edited so many of his, I've edited a couple of his videos, I can't believe he's here.
Right.
And so my friends are like encouraging me to go talk to him, and I'm talking to Backroom, or you know, like what was essentially Backroom at the time. I think it was still Gundam Goons. About like being there and be like, what do I say? Like, and they're like, just tell him, like, you know, Gilva Center says hi, you know. And so I came up to him and I was like, hey man, how you doing? Like, you know, good, nice to meet you. I'm a part of, you know, Gilva Center says hi. I don't know what I said exactly.
Right.
It was essentially that. And then he was like, oh, yo, shit, you about to say good? Okay, sweet. And he was like so down to earth and open and just accepting, like I was a nobody.
Yeah.
Next to him. But like he recognized my work.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, well, like I'm actually the guy that like made those videos. And he was like, oh, yo, come here, dog. Like, and then he like gave me this big hug, and it was like, holy shit.
Damn, that must have been like incredibly validating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, when the original creator of like whatever you've remixed in a sense, recognizes you, like,
yeah, there's nothing like that.
Yeah. He we were chatting it up a little bit more, and he actually invited me to go drinking with him, and
Just
and
like
a lot of the
out of nowhere, he
Smashified
just
team was
invited you to
going.
do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Him and a bunch of other people from the Smashified team
Uh huh.
were going. You know, that's Artsy Omni.
Yeah,
who
yeah,
created
yeah.
The
The Rayman
sorry, I
League,
wasn't
right?
sure if you knew. Yes, the
Yeah.
Rayman video.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love those guys. I was so happy to meet them too.
Mm-hmm.
And my personal good friend Sir Fluffy Fox, who recognized me for the channel, I met him for the first time there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met him many times since at MagFest, which is awesome. Anyway, I was 20 at the time, so I was like, yeah, I can't really go out. I'm sorry. Which I know is like super lame.
No,
but
no.
I mean, I'm out of state. I'm with my friends. I don't want them to be responsible for me. You know?
Right? Yeah, 100%.
I turned down Etika. Like that's so lame, but it's what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we stayed connected over the years. I had done more videos. The Bayonetta Climax video.
Yep,
that
classic.
video freaking is so good.
Yeah. You got my personal favorite,
Angry
which
Joe.
is the main
Thanks.
theme beach one.
Oh, the audio of that was made by TuneLink.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that.
I did know that. So you made the visuals, he
okay.
made the audio, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Rip is
That
incredible.
is one of the best ones that I've done.
It is so good.
I think the best Etika video that I've done is either Battle How from Pokemon Sun and Moon or the Sayonara Doki Doki Literature Club one. Either one of those is really good. Just because they're more advanced and funnier.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So then.
Yeah. I had stayed connected. And I kept trying to like reach out to him because like I live in upstate New York. He lives in New York City. And it was like a 2-hour drive for me if we ever wanted to like collaborate for the channel. And I kept trying to like encourage him, but he was either always busy or kind of just ignored me.
Yeah.
But then in 2019 February, it was actually Valentine's Day. I went to the city to view an Overwatch League. It was like the season premiere at a bar in the city, and I was with my partner, who you met at MagFest.
Yeah.
Hyde.
Yep.
So we were both really into Overwatch at the time, and we were there like, you know, this is so cool being around other Overwatch League fans. This is the season premiere for New York Excelsior. Awesome. And he fucking walks in. And I could not believe it. I was like, I shot, you know, I jumped up from my seat. I was like, yo, it's Etika. And, you know, got tons of people crowded around him, but then he sees me like across the room and he's like, yo, PinkieOats. And like I hadn't seen him for 3 years since 2016, and I don't post my face that often. I never really interacted with him too much, but like he recognized me.
Yeah,
he remembered
that's awesome.
me.
Yeah.
And like what an awesome, like, humbling guy to like someone as big as him like remembered someone like me, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'd seen him react to some of my more recent videos when he was streaming, but you know, he never explicitly said PinkieOats. He was very like low key about who did them,
right?
Which was generous, but also it was great just to see him like still reacting and appreciating the work that I was doing, even if he was maintaining the anonymity. Sorry, that word's hard. But yeah, and then like he was there with Cobra Mani. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know Cobra, whatever his name, Cobra Mani. He made like he used to do like Sonic Let's Plays, right? Like
right.
Yeah.
I never watched him, but I recognized his name, and he was there with them. And like I was like, yo, we gotta hang out to Etika. And he's like, yeah, for sure, dog. And lo and behold, we did. I had tried to. I thought he was going to MagFest that year, 2019, and so I had prepared a framed poster for him.
Right.
That was the year that we launched the merch for King for another for King for a Day.
Right.
Which he was featured in
Mm-hmm.
on the poster. So I wanted to give it to him as like a gift. And so I was able to bring it to him in the city. I took the train down and I hung out at his apartment, and I was able to, take him up on the offer of being able to drink with him.
Yeah.
And hang out. We just played Smash. I did a whole we did like a unwrapping video of him like reacting to the poster, and he was so cool and genuine and like excited about it. And I mean, it's crazy that someone like me, because of Gilva Center, I was able to get my work recognized and be able to hang out with someone like him. It's such a unique opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean,
it definitely is.
It was mind blowing. Like, I could not believe I was in his room. We went out to CVS and we had to go to actually a couple different CVS's because he wanted to buy this lotion, this very specific lotion that he uses. For non-disclosed reasons.
I got you.
But it was great. Like, we're just yucking it up, and we went to Shake Shack. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah. That's something else for sure.
It's really. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten closer with him, and I feel like I did, but not like a lot of his friends that he was around with a lot.
Yeah.
Or collaborated with him a lot or whatever. It's crazy to me that what happened within the same year.
Yeah.
Like just a couple months later, like it's a journey. It's my story, but for him it's like, it's hard to let go of. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's hard for me to say. I mean, like, what happened?
Yeah. It's and I mean, I think that specific thing is. I mean, I think in terms of the discussion about him, like, we don't need to obviously go down the rest of the thing there. But obviously
it's a sensitive subject.
Very much so. But he was a really, really awesome guy, and I'm really glad that you got to have such a cool experience with him. That story is really great, and
yeah, it was definitely like a good bookend.
Yeah.
From like me not really knowing who he was, but creating a funny video and getting something out of it.
Yeah.
And that sort of just evolving to, meeting him, and then seeing him again, and him recognizing me like someone as big as him, and then actually being able to hang out with him, like. It was a perfect way to. It's a perfect way for me to remember him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, I guess there's not really any like great way to transition off that. But
ad break. No.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by absolutely nothing. I think people would like. I don't know, what's the expression I'm looking for. People are going to be astonished that we're like an hour plus into the show and we haven't talked about Bob Dylan yet.
Oh yeah, true.
Because I think like even in the comments on the first episode, people were like, "You got to have Bob Dylan on," and that's that's
I didn't see that. No, I did not see that part.
That's how people know that's how a lot of people know you. It's definitely how I knew you before I joined Discord.
Right.
Even I was actually thinking yesterday when I was like thinking about just recording this episode with you, I was remembering back my freshman year of college when I was like still getting into SiIva, like listening through all the rips on the channel. One of the ones that obviously I really liked, and I think that I think it's like one of the more popular ones, is the Ashley's song.
Oh yeah.
Rip.
That probably got as big as it did because it was the last song was kind of a last minute contribution to the whole Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call it? Takeover, not takeover, but like
the Halloween event thing. Yeah.
Just event.
Yeah.
Halloween event that year.
Mm-hmm.
It was the last song, so people would be logging on. It would be the most recent rip.
Yeah.
And they would click on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, I assume that the Bob Dylan voice thing predates SiIva by a bit, right?
Not like me actually recording it, but like between friends.
Yeah. Like when did you discover that you had
Bob
this
Dylan
ability?
I don't even call it like a skill or a talent. It's just a stupid voice that I feel like anybody could do, but
I don't know, man. I think you got a special talent for it.
It's a curse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, just something between friends or schoolmates. So this is what Bob Dylan talks like. He sings like this, and he smokes the weed. You know, it's just funny.
Yeah.
I guess I'm glad it's my legacy. I'm glad I have something to call my legacy. But at the same time, it's hard for me to make more content because it's so annoying, and I'm in a house full of people,
right?
And they don't want to always hear that, and
makes sense.
Sometimes the house is not always quiet enough for me to do it, which is totally understandable. So I try to respect those boundaries.
Yeah.
When I do get to do it, it's like when nobody's home.
Right. So what led you from sort of taking this joke that was between you and some school friends and putting it on SiIva and having it be like a borderline mainstay on the channel, I would say.
I guess I would say it's a mainstay.
Yeah.
Even though when I look at tier lists of SiIva Gunner memes, it's definitely on the lower ranks. Which I'm like, oh man, come on! Like I worked really hard on those.
I mean, you got your own album out of it, so.
Yes. So the birthplace of Bob Dylan was actually the Phantom Rips, the Metal Gear Solid album.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like most of my contributions. It was a last minute submission because there was this isn't how we do all of our albums, but back then I think we just had a list of rips from the Metal Gear series that we wanted to collect, and people would kind of just claim whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them were more intricate and actual like sequenced melody swaps and stuff, and some of them were just like shitty video edits. Like one was, I think MF Piccolo did like an Angry Joe rant over a sad song or something. That was a really good one. And so I looked at these examples and I was like, okay, what can I contribute and what can I pick from? I had never even played Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never even heard this song before, and that's what made it. Well, I decided to pick it, and I was like, well, I have this stupid Bob Dylan impression. Let's use it. Let's just. This was one of the songs that needed to be filled, and I went for it. And I hardly heard the song. Like I maybe listened to it once just to get like the flow and the rhythm of the spoken lyrics in it. And I just tried to just sing the lyrics as Bob Dylan, I guess. And it was that. I mean, I feel like it's one of the best Bob Dylan rips because it was off the cuff. It was so impromptu, spur of the moment.
Yeah. That type of stuff
like,
definitely tends to be more memorable, especially like for the people creating it, because it's
the things that you tend to put less effort into somehow getting way more popular and loved.
Yeah.
And specifically Chase loved it so much. He wanted me to keep doing them, so I did like Pepsi Man and I did a Mother rip and a bunch of other crap. And just what I love about it is like, especially in the first one, is just ad-libbing, ooh, I spoke the weed up, Bob Dylan, over like jazz solo, like a solo, piano solo. I can't say goodbye to yesterday. So Um, that led to, because Chase wanted me to do so many, that led to me producing a whole album.
Yeah.
Collecting all of my existing covers, and then also doing brand new ones for the album, like the Flintstones and Snow Halation. Some of the I've definitely done. Okay, so let me step back a little. I wanted it to be released on my birthday, September 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my goal. And it was like 2 weeks to then, and I just went for it. I covered like 7 songs as Bob Dylan. I played Pokemon Go and all the others, Flintstones, Snow Halation, for the album. The Nut Shack was one of them.
Oh yeah.
Trying to remember what else, but no Bob Dylan songs, mind you.
Right, of course. Why would you do that?
Why would I do that? But yes, sorry. It's just a lot to look back on.
Yeah, definitely.
They were all rushed. They're not my, I feel like they're not my best, especially the audio quality.
Yeah. But they don't really need to be. I mean, that's just like, it's just you goofing around.
Yeah, but I feel like I could do better, and someday I would like to recover them and do a new Bob Dylan album.
Sure. You should.
Sorry.
You should do that for sure.
I definitely want to. Maybe this year, maybe again on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 3 year anniversary. It's crazy to think that it's that long ago.
Yeah.
But
it's 4 years, right? Or was it 2017 you did that?
I think so. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a lot that year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it was success. I loved the video that I did for it. I took the album announcement video. I took actual footage of Bob Dylan playing on stage with his guitar and his harmonica, and I took some audio of just coincidentally some guy doing a guitar cover and a harmonica cover of the Flintstones.
Oh, no way.
And it worked so well. The video's not available anymore because the footage is copyright claimed.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's re-uploaded it though, which is nice. But that was great.
Yeah.
And then the best part that came out of that album is when Anthony Fantano of the Needle Drop, it was when he was still doing his It Came From Bandcamp segments.
Yeah.
Or series.
Uh-huh.
And we were featured on it because we had produced so many albums.
Uh-huh.
And he selected 3 albums to highlight.
Uh-huh.
The PC Master Race one.
Okay.
I forget what the other one was. And then Ooh, I Smoke the Weed, I'm Bob Dylan.
I didn't know he picked that one. That's so funny.
Yeah. It's amazing that my essentially self-published shitty solo album. There were certainly a couple collaborations, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was relevant because recently Bob Dylan had won a Nobel Peace Prize in literature.
Did not know that.
And yes, at the time he had won that he was awarded that.
Huh.
Yeah. So it was a perfect culmination of events. Like I can't believe that Anthony Fantano. So many people want to be featured on his show, and my stupid covers made it before any of actual artists' work.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's huge.
That is huge. I was sharing it with everybody, and I was like, "This guy," and they were like, "Who's this guy?" Because in real life, like, nobody knows who the Needle Drop is, you know?
Right.
Like in our circle, like, he's a big deal. And maybe he's a much bigger deal now.
Yeah, I think definitely now, like, he's, like, I know a lot of people who know about him now, for sure. But I think maybe, like, 4 years ago, he was probably a smaller deal.
Right. But still.
Yeah. It's definitely something really funny to look back on.
Yes.
So the only other things really that I sort of had planned out for us to go over is MagFest, which I think is going to be a kind of a popular talking point in most of these episodes, just because so many of us have gone at this point. Which is awesome. So, but I think
I have a perfect attendance.
So you've been to you've been to all three,
Yeah.
and so tell me about like how that's been just going all 3 years and sort of what you've done and what you've been involved with.
It's really been such an incredibly unique and awesome opportunity. There's so many great people who are part of the staff that want us there, and it's just crazy to be there among legends like Jen Sanume or Lana Rain.
Right.
And
David Wise.
Right. David Wise recently. Absolutely insane. Awesome opportunity. And we also have like one of the biggest turnouts, which is insane.
I know. It's crazy because like they tell us like they're like, man, so many people come to see SiIva Gunner, but like the reality of it is that like, did you hear that?
I did.
It's my doorbell.
Oh.
The reality of it is that like half of the people are like members of SiIva.
Yeah.
So like we make up half of our attendance because there's just
true.
There's so many of us, which is really cool that like the people involved with us are like willing to come to this kind of thing and be a part of it with us.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's incredible to be. I've been on the panel the first year and the third year as a panelist. And I also made a cameo in the second year.
Okay. I could have sworn you were on it all 3 years. So what was the cameo the second year?
Well, I was promoting our merchandise, which we had just launched at MagFest. We were given the opportunity to sell posters, because and I was really the guy like behind it all. I coordinated it all. We held like a design contest or so with the art team, and one of the designs was chosen, as well as the King for a Day art was chosen. And we
both
got
are awesome.
Both
posters,
of those
by
printed.
the way. Yeah,
both are amazing art, and we're still selling them. By the way, on the Bandcamp.
I'm gonna plug the little link right here on the screen and also in the description. But there you go.
Yes, and it's actually so important and amazing that we're able to sell our merchandise and that people want to buy them, because it helps fund people to come to MagFest. I mean, it directly contributed to people being able to go to MagFest who are part of the team. And that is so amazing that you guys are willing to support us, because otherwise we really wouldn't be making any kind of money, because we offer the albums on Bandcamp for free, essentially, and because we don't make any ad revenue.
Right.
Which is cool for me.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like to know that our own work is actually contributing to our travel funds, essentially.
Yeah, it's super cool. And so you are the one, like you've got all the posters on hand, right? You're the one who ships them out.
I'm the one that ships them all out personally, out of my basement.
What is what is that process like?
Well, once or twice a month I look at how many orders we have. We do them like every 2 to 3 weeks. Then I transfer all the addresses and into a spreadsheet, and I print those all out into labels, and then I roll up all the tubes and I put the appropriate addresses with the specific posters in the tubes. And then we mail them out by hand, like old school grassroots, you know.
Yeah.
We definitely need to switch to a more modern method, because it is really hard. We've sent over like 100 at this point, and it's been going on for like 2 years almost. And it's really hard for the postman in there to mail them all out, because it's a lot. Like I bring in like 30 at a time, and then it's like, oh my god, we have to sit here for so long and do all this. So I would like to stream like that in the future. Recently, this past MagFest, I helped design the poster with art contributed by the whole art team of all the portraits. Of the King for Another Day portraits. And so that was really awesome to be able to work with them and get that printed out and be exclusively sold at MagFest. However, we still have a lot left over, and it's the first time I'd like to publicly announce this.
Oh man.
We have plans to sell them online.
Let's go.
Because a lot of people were obviously not able to attend MagFest. They were supposed to be exclusive. We ordered way less. We still only have like 100 or something.
Yeah.
So in the future, we will be selling them.
Cool.
And we'd love for you guys to be able to support the channel. We also have, thanks to collaboration with Motendu, and his laser cutter, we also have these really awesome charms, wooden charms, laser engraved of the channel icon. Yeah. And like 5 busts left. And so at some point we're also going to sell those.
Those busts,
I don't know if we're ever going to do those again.
My God. Those busts.
Yeah, those were so incredible. We got a whole team of people at MagFest constructing them all.
Yeah, we had like a little workshop where we were putting those together and gluing them.
That was a really cool experience. If it was, but it sucked that it kind of got in the way of like the whole
actually
convention.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a really awesome memory being able to hang out and just work hard and be able to provide that to you guys.
Yeah.
Because, well, so many people who helped make it were not able to buy it because I was like, you know what? We only have like 20 of these.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we shouldn't be like all buying them. We should let the fans buy them, you know?
Right.
If they want it. And we were a part of it. So, you still have that memory.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think like one of the things I really enjoyed the most about MagFest is just hanging out and talking with people. And that's what we did while we were making those busts. Like, we were putting them together, but we were just hanging out, listening to some music and so
shooting the shit.
Yeah, exactly. It was honestly I think of it as a good memory for sure.
I agree, ultimately.
So the last thing sort of on the list that I definitely want you to talk about because it's super cool and I think you're the only person that can talk about it is the fact that we had an exhibit. SiIva Gunner had an art exhibit in a gallery, right?
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So I guess I'll start at the beginning. I was a server at a restaurant and this couple, Yvonne and Emma, still own a gallery in Newark called Gallery at Faro. And I was serving them and, I'm an artist and they own an art exhibit and, we kind of just have like this mutual interest. And then I eventually got into the topic of me being part of a YouTube channel. And they were like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, well, we actually make video game music remixes, essentially. Mm-hmm. And they were like, you know what? I think we'd be able to feature you in some way.
This was just some random people you were serving at your restaurant?
Well, they had been a regular.
Okay, so you knew them, but like not outside of the context of you serving them at the restaurant. Gotcha.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. And it just came to fruition someday. Like, they have this exhibit, and I was there for the premiere of it. What is the word? I had it written down.
The unveiling,
the sorry, one second.
The grand opening.
The grand opening. The hell? What the fuck? Sorry. I have the word. Whatever. I was there at the open. Whatever. Yeah, and I was able to. Well, and before that, I was collaborating and communicating with the team about like what would be good songs that would represent the channel, because I'm gonna mix all these together to like a 30-45 minute thing, and we got a bunch of well-known remixes, we got a bunch of original songs, we got a bunch of bangers on there, stuff that people would recognize. And I mixed it all together, and it's featured in this exhibit called Elevator Music, where it's in this older building. It's been renovated, but they actually excavated behind a wall this old Otis elevator that was in the basement. And there was still the elevator shaft. So they basically raised the elevator out of the basement after excavating it behind a wall.
What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those really cool, like, gate kind of opening.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking
about. And there's like a little cranky thing.
Like a really old-timey elevator.
Like somebody would have to be there to operate it. That kind of thing. And they installed speakers in it, and they set it up with like a Bluetooth thing and this sensor where if anybody who walked by, it would start playing the music.
Huh.
The whole mix of music, yeah. And this is how they had done it for all of their things. But I just thought it was funny because it's tucked away all the way in the back on the second floor, across from the bathroom. So essentially, when you go to take a shit, you're listening to our shit posts.
That's great.
Yeah, and it, oh man, it was a really awesome opportunity to be there for the opening because I was conversing with all these people who were there for the actual exhibits because there were so many other things premiering with it, and actual artists. I shouldn't say actual artists, but like, you know, physical, tangible art, not just, obviously nobody's going there for the elevator music. They're going there for the actual exhibits. And so when they wander back into here, they see me, and I get to talk to them about the whole channel and the whole process. And they dug it. Like, you know, I did my best to explain how it works and in layman's terms, and not just seem like we're a bunch of kids making funny memes. Yeah. You know, it's actually hard work, and it's actually genuine work, and they all seem to get it and appreciate it.
Yeah, that's really cool that you were able to sort of, I was gonna say like bring SiIva Gunner to the modern world, but like into
real life and the consciousness of at least a handful of people. Like, oh wow, like people like this exist and they do this kind of stuff. Cool. Yeah.
Very dope. So I think that's gonna do it for today. I think this was definitely a bit of a longer episode than normal, or maybe not. Maybe this will be the new normal. Man. Who knows?
I left out something.
What did you leave out?
I'm sorry.
No. Go back.
This really important detail,
please.
Where I had taken a old shitty shitpost from. This was on the first channel. I taken Live and Ooh.
Oh, you know? Of course. Yeah. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it kind of became a mainstay.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
Like the circle of memes that is used in SiIva Gunner. And it's just astounding to me that, like, you know, it gets mixed in so many like mega mashups essentially. I love that.
Yeah.
It was just like an offhand thing that I did, and all my friends loved it, and then I put it on the YouTube channel, so it became this thing.
Yeah. And then you got to.
I got to show it.
Yeah.
At the second MagFest, I believe it was the second MagFest.
I think it was the first one.
It was the first one. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I got to show it to the actual original composer of it, Jin Sanume of Crush 40, of all this Sonic Adventure music that we know and love.
Yep.
I got to show him my shitty edit, and you know, it takes a while to like actually get to the part where it's funny.
Right.
But like, if you watch the video, he's like listening, and I'm like, okay, wait, just wait. And then he starts laughing, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
I'll throw that clip in right here.
Songs because I made this spin on it. Oh, I would love for you to hear it. It's very
super popular.
Just wait.
Just wait for it.
It will be worth it. Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to you.
What shoes? What should I do?
No. And that's it. It just keeps going.
It just keeps
going.
It gets higher and higher.
I'm so happy that you enjoyed that.
All right.
Thank you so much. It means so much to me. Thank you.
All right.
But yeah, there's like a whole culmination of things that I'm sort of behind, and we all try to stay anonymous about it. And I'm really glad that this podcast is here to kind of bring these stories and background history to life.
Yeah, I think it's
to the awareness.
I think it's a good middle ground of like, the people who really care, like the bigger fans, like they'll find this show and they'll listen to it. But for the general public, like on the channel, we still keep that sense of anonymity and keep up that character. Because I think, I do think it's an important part of the channel's identity, and I don't want to, do anything to sort of
jeopardize that.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, just based off of this conversation and the one I had with Tim, and I'm sure all the future episodes, like, there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about with the people behind it. So
yeah, like, where do these ideas come from?
Exactly, yeah, and it's just, there's not really like one place where people can go to find that out if they're interested. So So really, man, thank you for being on and sharing all this with me and with us.
Absolutely.
It was
sorry for going over the time limit a little, but
no, I mean, it was
taking up your time.
We went for the first like 45 minutes, like just talking about all random stuff, which was just as fun. So yeah, I think that finally does it for the second episode of the High Quality Podcast. PinkieOats, where can people find you on social media and such?
I have my Twitter mainly is where I generally post my terrible opinions or occasionally a good meme. I also have my YouTube channel, which I rarely update, but I should be doing more of because there's a lot of content that's sort of sparsely uploaded on Twitter that doesn't make it to YouTube. I know I'd like to sort of compile that.
Yeah.
I would like to end this off by saying that Paper Jams is happening.
Oh yeah. I wasn't sure if you were gonna say anything about that, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, that's something that me and Nate Mango started on SoundCloud.
Yeah, there's actually the SoundCloud's still up, right? I can throw that in the description.
Yeah, but that's totally inactive.
Okay.
We're never gonna update that there.
Okay.
The project is now a SiIva Gunner project.
Cool. And
so eventually it will come to fruition. Yes.
Very excited. I haven't even obviously like I can see like what's going on, but I haven't checked out any of it yet. I'm excited for the project to drop in full, and then I'll check it out because obviously that soundtrack is amazing. So I'm excited to see what you guys do with it for sure.
I'm sorry, I feel like I ruined your outro, but
no.
Thank you so much, new guy, for having me on.
Of course, it was
really looking forward to future episodes.
Yeah,
and I'm really grateful to provide the art.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I said it. I gave you a shout out, and I said it in text, but I really can't thank you enough. I mean, like all the visuals really help give the channel and the show a more effortful look. It
we're legit.
Yeah, it looks legit.
We have so much talent behind SiIva Gunner, and that's what I love about our team.
Yeah, we
all do it for free, for you, for fun.
Just for fun.
Thank you.
It's the best.
Good night.
Yeah, so I do want to quickly throw in one piece of feedback that I got a lot from the last episode, or not feedback, but just a comment I saw from the last episode a lot, is that people want this podcast to be on streaming services and stuff. And my answer to that before was, if there's demand for it, I'll do it, but there's clearly demand for it. So I'm going to be looking into putting the show on Spotify and Apple Music.
Cut out. Oh God.
Oh, hello?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Sorry. You cut out. I'm not sure, but
yeah. No, I mean, I'm just sort of like talking to the people anyway. But yeah, so Spotify, Apple Music, I'm looking into, but the show will be on a SoundCloud by the time next week's episode goes up. So
Google Podcasts.
Google
Podcasts is slept on.
Google. Okay, I'll look into Google Podcasts.
Yes.
So that's the update on that, and yeah, that's all I got. So thanks again, Poets, for your time, and
thank you, new guy.
And everybody else, we'll see you next week for episode 3.
Awesome.
Goodbye.